Everybody knows their parts? Did we do a part review?
No, we haven't yet.
Jonathan. Alright. Alright, guys, going over parts.
Sweeper, Earth Mother. Gavin's doing the drum beat, or am I?
I'm incense.
Yep. Your incense. Stanley, your water.
Water.
I'm also
Okay.
doing nature spirits.
Purpose and precedent is Ray, who is somewhere. Earth Mother is you, Jonathan. Stanley, you are Hermes Shrine. Viviana does me. You are Causator. Jonathan, or Gavin, you are Seer. It's on here wrong.
I don't have Hermes.
Huh? You should grab Hermes then.
You should probably go get it.
Who has Gray? Who has the Gray scroll? Is it inside?
I got it.
That's green.
That's green, not gray.
Gray is right here.
Patrick Stewart drinks Earl Grey tea.
It's
Oh.
here.
There it is. See, this is why we go over our parts, Stanley. That was my job. I signed off on that. That's my fault.
Frankie, I am making you a co-host just because we can't see the
Viviana
computer once
or
we're doing the ritual. If you see
Debbie,
somebody log in, you
are
can admit
Heartbeat
them.
Water, not me.
Okie dokie, sounds good.
Thank you.
Who is
Okay.
Heartbeat?
It's showing here as Jonathan, but I think it's supposed to be you.
Who's
You're
heartbeat?
Heartbeat or you want me to?
You are.
You do it.
Wait,
Okay.
you're doing the drum.
Not me.
There was a.
Who's doing
we
the
all
drum?
agreed that
Gavin.
the
I'm
Seer
doing
did
Oh,
the
it.
drum.
Gavin. Okay.
I thought
Ray?
Jonathan volunteered for the heartbeat last week. That's why his name's there.
Alright.
I don't say mean you have to. I'm saying you did. That's why your name's on the sheet.
Please pass it on to Gavin.
Okay.
Gavin's got it then.
Ray, you're fire, and you're also purpose and precedent. Ancestor Shrine is Gavin. Nature Shrine is the lovely Viviana. Beach is well. Ray is fire. For the kindreds, ancestors is Gavin. Nature spirits is Jonathan. That's the green one. Stanley, you are doing deities.
For the rituals, yeah, I'll keep my attitude out.
Alright. Invocations. Viviana, you have a Bodo invocation. Gavin, you have a Bodo invocation. Stanley, you have a Bodo invocation. Your guys' purple scrolls. You guys check those. Make sure you have the right one.
I did.
Okay.
Been there, done that.
Okay, cool. And then blessings jug is Gavin. Otherwise, we're good to go. Everybody has their parts.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah, you do.
I even got an extra one.
What's the extra?
Where set the, oh, I set them there when I went to the restroom.
Oh, and then remotes. Yep. Oh, greeter, we didn't fill in either. Whatever. And then we don't have praise because this is a different ritual.
Bubble to bubble.
Cool.
Oh, one. I need a script.
What do you
Because
need
I'm-
script?
The gates was. Oh wait, no.
I don't
Actually,
have that memorized yet. Hey guys, when you get in here,
Stanley-
don't be a buzzkill.
Stanley, the whole object was here for you to, memorize the 3 lines you have to say.
yeah, I keep getting to stop memorizing it.
You're all over.
Alright.
Think about what it is we say. What do we say?
Oh,
Yeah.
huddle up.
Yeah.
That.
Alright. Alright, huddle up, friends.
Yes, princess.
Oh, I said friends, Jonathan.
Stand by. We're not ready for that yet. Who's on the camera?
Okay. You're missing a part?
Stand by.
Ouch.
We're standing by. You don't have to touch each other.
Here, hold on. Thank you.
Oh yeah, everybody make sure you have a songbook. Or
I'm just
grab one
gonna
on the
put
way
it
in.
behind you. I'll just pick it.
Guys, remember,
Here.
I don't have a way to mute your microphones, so...
You can just throw it on this where you're gonna be sitting too. Debbie, stop. You're being bad.
Always.
I wouldn't know how to relate to somebody who didn't have a slightly caustic sense of humor.
Right.
Like that
Right.
bad?
Camera is live.
No, I'm just a cranky old lady, so.
Alright, we're live.
Right?
I have a pulse.
Just want you to know everybody's late because we're starting on time. call out to the bards of old. May those whose words were strong and clear inspire us. May our lips be as swift as silver, may our tongues drip with honey. May we speak loudly, may we speak clearly, may we be inspiring, and may we be inspired. So be it.
So be it.
And I call out to the gods of technology. May our bandwidth be broad. May our radios broadcast clearly. May we stay connected to the universe. May we stay connected to the three kindreds and to the three realms. And most of all, may we stay connected to our remote guests. So be it.
So be it.
All right, cleansers, go clean.
Oh.
How do you
The rest of us,
how do you
outside.
clean a chronically solar
Alright,
ritual
I'm gonna drop this off.
Whoever's huffing and puffing, move your microphone away from your mouth.
Where's the incense?
Maybe time to switch which one of those is the legs on the are getting really loose.
Is that? That's not incense. No.
Switch that one with the one for the microphone holder in the back. That microphone is on.
Yes. I tested it to make sure.
Making sure I can get through
I went to go see if it was on. The cape and everything was all there.
Did anyone burn that and do that?
Oh, he did.
Pick your zone.
Yeah, but we'll have the sound.
Give me a second.
By the might of water,
By the light of the fire, these stones
are made whole and holy. By the might of water, by
by the light of the fire,
these
these
stones are made whole and holy.
By the might of the water, by the light of the fire, these stones are made whole and holy.
By
By the light of the water, by the light of the fire, these stones are made whole and holy. By the might of the water, by the light of the fire, these stones are made whole and holy.
By the might of the water,
By the light of the fire, these stones are made whole and holy. By the might of the water, by the light of the fire, these stones are made whole and holy.
By the
Might of the water, by the light of the fire, these stones are made whole and holy. By the might of the water, by the light of the fire, these stones are made whole and holy. By the might of the water, by the light of the fire, these stones and electronics are made whole and holy.
By the might of water, by the light of the fire,
These stones are made whole
And sweep away those
and
techno
holy.
gremlins.
by the might
Light
of
of the
water,
water,
by
by the light of the fire,
these
these stones are made whole and holy. By the might of the water, by the light of the fire,
these stones are made whole and holy. This is sacred space. Let all thoughts and words beyond this point focus on the sacred. Work, finances, household obligations have no place in the sanctuary. Anger, fear, frustration have no place in the sanctuary. Hatred, spite, infatuation have no place in the sanctuary. Leave them and all that will hinder our worship here among the profane. As you enter, may this water purify your body, and may this fire ignite your spirit. May this water purify your body, may this fire ignite your spirit. May this water purify your body, may this fire ignite your spirit. May it water purify your body, may this fire ignite your spirit.
Come we
May this
now
water
as
purify
a
your body,
people,
may this fire ignite your spirit.
gather at the sacred
May this water purify your body,
we
may this fire
now
ignite
as
your
a
spirit.
people,
Yours too.
together in the
May this
warmth
water
and
purify your
the
body,
light of the
may this
flames.
fire ignite your spirit.
Come we now as a people, to gather at the sacred well. Come we now as a people, to gather in the warmth and the light of the flames. We come to this place to venerate the mighty kindreds. May we be blessed by those many denizens of the various realms as we give praise and offerings in their honor on this sacred day. We are here to honor the kindreds.
We
are here to honor the kindreds.
And then we begin by finding my script. Please remain standing as you are able. We begin with Jonathan, acknowledging the host of all Druid rites. But first, let us share in this grain as we lift our voices in song to our Earth Mother. With song number 4, we are one with the Mother. We are one with the Mother, we are one with the Earth. We are one with each other by our lives, by our birth. We are one with the Mother, we are one with the Earth. We are one with each other by our lives, by our birth. We are one with the Mother, we are one with the Earth. We are one with each other by our lives, by our birth. It's the wrong one. That's green, not brown. That's not the Earth Mother.
Ah. Mental irregularity, pardon me.
There you go.
Great grandmother of many, you who were first in this land, it was you who knew the hearts of Wolf and his brother Coyote. It was through your wisdom that you chose Coyote to bear the sack containing all of the people. And it was you who knew that at the crucial moment, Coyote would open the sack, releasing the people upon the earth. So too it was you who knew that, though many of the people would be scattered like seeds on the wind, the last out of the sack would remain here, in this place, walking in your footsteps. So too do we, a new people, walk here, where your feet once compressed the earth, and we too give you our love and our honor and look to your wisdom to guide our steps. Great grandmother of the earth, we honor you.
Great grandmother of the Earth,
we honor you.
Sorry, Ray.
And now Stanley will lead us as we turn our attention to our patron and his shrine.
O simple-tongued messenger of the gods, I call to you, you who are guardian, guide, and patron of this grove. Far-traveling light-bringer, your shrine is your presence. We welcome in our sanctuary. Swift-footed Hermes, your presence is welcome.
Swift-footed
Swift-footed
Hermes,
Hermes,
your presence is welcome. You may be seated. Please mute your mics. It is time for us to take a moment to contemplate the season and the reason for this rite as Ray explains.
the wheel of the year turns, and the wheel of time continues to turn, drawing 1 year closed in preparation for the opening of the next. And here we stand on this cusp, the lip, the edge, the now, on the border between what was and what will be today. We are neither here nor there, standing instead in the twilight between old and new. The ancient times, people understood borders and boundaries. They understood the beyond these lines of demarcation where other beings, gods, goddesses, demigods, all sorts of spirits of the natural world, and perhaps most disturbing, the shades of those who had passed beyond the boundaries, leaving us behind. Priestess and priest, druids, seers, shamans, and other wise and learned leaders studied the signs and calculated the days. They created calendars so that we could, as accurately as possible, identify the powerful, magical, in-between times in order to prepare their people to receive these other beings with joy and safety. This is particular magical boundary has marked by many cultures and known by many names: Day Dead, All Saints, Saint, among others. Now, as darkness becomes more powerful, stealing even more time from the light, as the sweet winds of autumn give way to the bitter blast of winter, as tortoises, lizards, and other denizens of our desert hunker down into their warmth for their burrows, as plastic armored warriors meet on the fields and frozen lakes to compete in old rivalries, as students seriously buckle down to their studies, abuzz with the season's candies treat. We gather at our tables laden with bounties of this past year. Our settings and places, and the food is warm and ready. We are prepared to light candles and throw open the doors to receive guests long gone.
And so let us lift our voices as one folk, as we make our offerings in reverence and in joy.
I gotta grab a drink real quick.
Reverb.
Now we recall the cosmos as it was in the beginning, and through our collective memory, let it be born anew. But let us begin before the beginning, with Viviana calling the causator for this rite.
I call out to the muses. Oh, inspirations and interests of the fine arts. Pretty people who patiently pose for portraits. Long-term lovers whose liveliness inspires literature. Spellbinding strangers who suspect not their significance to a songwriter. Art is conceived in the mind of its creator, but it is beauty which inseminates the creative mind. Muses, without your beauty, there would be no art. So, come, O fascinating face, and aid us as we renew the cosmos. Through you, let the present and the beginning merge. Let this sanctuary become as the mundi, the skull, the center of all.
With a causator in place, our seer Gavin will join Debbie and Ray in guiding us in renewing the cosmos.
Settle yourself, my friends. Get comfortable. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, let your mind empty. Let your thoughts and worries flow outward with your breath. Breathe in again, pulling in the world, and let your cares drift away. Breathe. Now cast your mind back. Back. Let your mind wander into the deep, dark.
In the beginning, there was darkness, for the day began in the night, and the vast emptiness was formless. But in the sea of chaos, matter gathered into a lifeless ball, churning with heat, pulsing with the heartbeat of the cosmos. Then the earth heaved, and the elements separated, and above the rolling mass clouds gathered, beginning as thin wisps of moisture drifting. The growing mist joined and ascended, until the sky above thickened with the evaporated liquids, drawing a blanket across the newly formed firmament. And these clouds, too, took up the pulse of the cosmos. Then from the darkness, the gathered waters fell, coming first as a fine mist to cool and soothe. The gentle rains grew into a mighty deluge, covering the raw stratified earth in a thick layer of frothing liquid. And these waters took up the heartbeat, ebbing and flowing, a steady balm on the world.
Throbbing pulse, the sky grumbled, and the lightning flashed. In the thick, dark clouds, tentative flickers sparked randomly, and the grumbles echoed ominously, until the night was dark and silent no longer. Then the light reached out with forked fingers to stroke the waters, to prod the land not yet covered. And in that moment, the land and the water were joined with the fires from the skies above. and the heartbeat of the cosmos pulse through the new world until life filled all the realms. And the day began.
All yours.
Sorry. And so here we are at the present, which is the beginning. The cosmos is renewed, and we are rewoven into it, above, below, between, as it was then, as it is now.
Newly born and forever in existence, these hallows in our sanctuary, the well, the fire pit, and the shrines, mark the center of our cosmos to which all things are connected. Now gather yourselves, my friends, and let us get our powers pumping for the work ahead by singing Song 17, The Crossroads. Everybody remember which parts you got?
I'm just that one, right? Yeah.
It's hard to hold this and clap at the same time. Will we meet at the crossroads where our hollows stand, center of the cosmos, beginning and the end? There are ways leading outward to the many lands if we meet at the crossroads with offerings in hand.
There's a way going westward toward the setting sun.
There's a way going westward where the shades belong. We will all be going onwards
When our time has come, down that lane going westward into the great beyond.
There's a way going eastward through a hidden veil.
There's a way going eastward where the fairies dwell. There are gnomes, wights, and dryads, leprechauns as well, on the path going eastward into the secret vale. So come meet at the crossroads where our hollows stand, center of the cosmos, beginning and the end. There are ways leading outward to the many lands where we meet at the crossroads with offerings in hand. There's a way going downward beneath the fertile sweep.
There's a way going downward where hidden treasures keep.
In the smithy's divine hammers with sparks crash and leap by the stream going downward into the molten deep.
There's a way going upwards where azure counties lie.
There's a way going upward where royal chariots fly, with offerings and omens from messengers on high, through the flames going upwards to castles in the sky. So let's meet at the crossroads where our hollows stand, center of the cosmos, beginning and the end. There are ways leading outward to the many lands where we meet at the crossroads with offerings in hand. There's a way swirling roundward beyond the sodden dune.
There's a way swirling downward, morning, night, and noon.
On reefs, waves, and trenches, we'll net and harpoon on the tide surging roundward, following the moon.
There are stones at the center, a sacred peristyle.
There are stones at the center where tricksters may beguile. The weary and unwary will tarry for a while as the intersected center of the transcendental mile. Still we're here at the crossroads where our hollows stand, center of the cosmos, beginning and the end. There are ways leading outward to the many lands as we wait at the crossroads with offerings in hand. Yes, we're here at the crossroads, center of the cosmos. Oh, we're here at the crossroads, with offerings in hand. Hold that power a moment longer, for it is time to stir the energies of creation. Together, let us join our powers to open the gates and the ways marked by these hallows and shrines, that they may link us directly to the realms beyond.
Oh, shift dark soil, last cover of the day. Shake the stone, loosen the loam. To the left, to the right, from near to far. Shift and rend.
Shift
and rend. Reach westward in your rending dark soil,
and rend.
traveling to the very ends of the
and
earth.
rend.
Shift and rend. Shift and rend. Form a
Shift
fissure,
and
reaching
rend.
ever westward.
Shift and rend.
Pass out the bedrock
Shift
and shearing
and
walls,
rend. Shift
and let the
and
abyss
rend.
appear. Shift
and
and
rend.
rend. Shift and
and
rend.
rend.
Let the
Shift
gate to the underworld,
and rend.
the realm of the
Shift
dead,
and
be
rend.
open.
Let the
gates
gates
be
be
open.
open.
Oh, shimmer, enchanted cloak, first veil of life. Billow the barrier, sever the threads, from below to above, to the right and to the left. Stretch and tear, stretch
and
tear.
tear.
split
Stretch and
ever
tear.
eastward in your
Stretch
tearing,
and tear.
enchanted cloak,
Stretch
traveling
and tear.
to the very
Stretch
origins
and
of the
tear.
earth. Stretch and tear, stretch and tear. Form a
Stretch
rent,
and tear.
splitting ever
Stretch
eastwards.
and
Press
tear.
out the
Stretch
fabric in
and tear.
rippling pleats,
Stretch and tear.
and let
Stretch
the
and
occult
tear.
appear.
Stretch and tear.
Let the
Stretch
gate to the
and
ethereal
tear.
world, the
Stretch
realm
and
of the
tear.
noble ones,
Stretch
be
and
open.
tear.
Let the
gates
gates
be
be
open.
open.
I gather this perpetual fire, that its flame may blaze the way to the crossroad.
Just
I-
stay right there.
I draw up this spring water, that its flow may usher the way to the crossroads.
Oh, churn mighty waters, soothing balm of the world. Toss the waves and stir the currents. To the west, to the south, to the east, to the north. Churn and turn. Churn and turn. Churn and turn. Reach
Churn
downward in your
and
churning,
turn.
mighty waters,
Churn
draining deep
and
into the
turn.
bowels of the earth.
Churn
And
and
churn.
turn.
And
Churn and turn. Churn and turn. Churn and turn.
Form a
Churn
whirlpool
and
spinning
turn.
ever downwards.
Churn
Press
and
out the
turn.
cooling liquid in
Churn
rushing walls and
and
let a
turn.
tunnel appear.
Churn and
and
turn.
Churn and turn. Churn and turn.
Let the way to the
Churn
netherworld,
and
the
turn.
domain of the earth
Churn
deities,
and
be
turn.
open.
Let the way be open.
Almighty fire, gift from the sky above. Lift the air. Stir the winds. The and burn. Twist and burn. Twist and burn. Twist and burn.
Twist and burn. Twist and burn.
Reach skyward in your burning mighty fire.
Twist
Rising
and burn.
from the very core of the earth.
and burn. Twist and
burn.
burn.
Twist and burn.
Twist and burn. Twist and burn. Twist
Form
and
of
burn.
fire
Twist
spinning
and
ever,
burn. Twist
pressing
and
out
burn.
the scorching flames and
and
in
burn. Twist
and let
and
a
burn. Twist and burn. Twist and burn. Twist and burn.
taste of the heaven,
and burn.
And burn.
main of the sky deities.
Burn.
Let the way be open. And let this giant skull, this oversized reminder of what lies ahead, stand with us at the center of the ways. Let it glow with an inner light, that all kindreds might see and know that this is a crossroads between the ways. And so, as you have aided, so it is, the ways are open.
The
ways
ways
are
are open.
My friends, the ways stand open at this intersection, yet we remain firm on the land, the earth which is our home. Let us set out the calls and issue invitations to our kindreds that they may join us here at the crossroads, the center, which is the beginning, the present, the end. But first, I will give a call to a gatekeeper, a guardian to stand at the center and ward these crossroads to the realms. O Grim Reaper, Lord of Death, I call to you. Come, O black-robed stalker, you who hold fast to fate's schedule that no pleading nor conniving can avoid when the appointed hour arrives. May none here be destined to your care tonight. O keeper of time's swiftly falling sands, with the crook of a skeletal finger or the sweep of the harvester's scythe, you collect and escort. May none here need your services tonight. Scythe-bearer, faceless terror, pain-soother, soul-mover, long-last-awaited specter, come into our sanctuary. Be first before our dearly departed, but may none here brush your cloak. Ghoulish Grim Reaper, be welcome among us.
Be welcome among us.
Scythe bearer, we are entrusting you with these keys to our sanctuary and pray that you stand vigil before these open ways during our rite. Keep watch, Grim Reaper, that the flames do not burn out of control, that the whirlpool does not rise out of the well, and that the unwelcome, the dangerous, the inimical pass not into this space to disturb our worship. Does a really hot fire count as dangerous or inimical?
Only if you play with it. Ray.
And now, my friends, let us turn our attention to the Ancestor Shrine as Gavin calls to the Ancient Ones.
Singe your hair. Dude, you're fire traitor. That's
To those whose bones lie in the land,
fireman.
whose hearts are tied to it,
My dad was
whose
nice.
memory holds it,
Forgot to back up his
the
phone.
ancient tribes of this place, we offer you welcome.
Not chat time.
To all our grandmothers and grandfathers, our own beloved dead, bloodkin, heartkin, ancient tribes of our blood, we offer you welcome. to those elder wise ones who guide their people, poets and seers, judges and magicians, wise women and men of ancient days, we offer you welcome. Ancient ones, be welcome among us.
Ancient
Ancient
ones, be welcome among us. And now let us turn our attention to the Nature Spirit Shrine, as Jonathan calls to the noble ones.
To all the spirits of the mountains and trees, all you ancient and bearded fathers to subtle and spry children, spirits of the land, we offer you welcome. To all the spirits of rivers and streams, to all the spirits of rivers and streams, to the cloud sisters and rain sisters, to fresh spring daughters, spirits of the waters, we offer you welcome. To all the spirits of the creatures of the earth, to all the spirits of the creatures of the earth, you beasts who walk or fly or crawl or swim, spirits of the creature, we offer you welcome. Noble ones, be welcome among us.
Noble ones, be welcome among us. And finally, let us return our attention to the sacred center, as Stanley calls to the shining ones.
To all the primordial ones, progenitors of all that is, oldest of old, shapeless and faceless, powers of all, most ancient of gods, we offer you welcome. To all the shining ones, first children of the mother, wisest and mightiest, loving and comforting, gods and goddesses, we offer you welcome.
Put out the fire.
To the gods and goddesses of this place, ancient and powerful, known to us or unknown, gods of this place, we offer you welcome. Shining ones, be welcome among us.
Shining ones, be welcome among us. My friends, we have come now to the most important part of our rite. In a moment we will invite our guests of honor to their seats and offer them our gifts and our praises. Before we do that, though, let us take a moment to gather up that which we will offer. There are many items on the tables behind the big bench which are appropriate for offerings. If you did not bring an offering of your own, you are welcome to choose something from the items the Grove has provided for that purpose. And we extend the use of these provided items to our remote guests as well. If you would have an offering made on your behalf, please open your mic and let us know so that we can prepare an offering for you. If you would like to make an offering at your personal shrine, instead, now is the time to ensure you have what you need to do so, but don't offer yet. My friends, go get your offerings and make sure you're ready.
All right, I'm good to unmute myself now. Or at the moment.
It's up to you.
Yep.
Okay.
Something
So, do you guys happen to have like any roses or rosemary or both?
Let me look.
Sherry?
Might
Rose
be on the
petals?
bottom.
Rosemary.
Ooh, yes, rose petals. Thank you. Yes.
Well, let's see. Because once upon a time, there was a ton load of rose.
I know. I still have some in my house.
I know, but that was a while ago. And
I know. I know. When we did our Aphrodite
bath
ritual.
bomb. What's the bath bomb?
Oh, yeah. The original bath bomb.
It's in the shape of a heart.
Well, there we go. Okay.
It's rose.
Oh.
Rose petal
Yeah.
kisses heart-shaped bath bomb. Oh, there's Oh, okay. We could do both. Here,
Okay.
what if I just trim it? Okay, that's good.
Ooh, yes.
All right, got that for you.
All right, thank you, Mama.
Uh-huh.
What about Gavin?
Oh, we need to cut the plastic off of that.
That'll be a good idea.
Yeah, it probably would be.
Usually
Wonder
is.
what happens if you drop these in alcohol.
Good question.
Put a peep in a fire.
Something?
I don't know what happens if I put in an alcohol science teacher.
Has to be. And that's not exactly the easiest thing in the world.
Here, Ray, you got some. I was about to use my tea.
Yeah, that would not taste good.
Would it?
No.
Maybe
Don't-
it would.
Don't cut yourself.
Don't tell me what to do.
You gotta work it with that knife right now.
That was my
Your
knee.
bath bomb.
Cool, thank you. I mean Frankie's bath
Your
bomb.
stabbing.
It was fine. It just fell.
What?
It was fine. It just fell.
Really,
No,
it's
I was
supposed to be
pleased
somebody
because-
else's bath bomb.
Yeah, technically. It smells too. Let's see what it smells like
I
when
have
it
a
hits
feeling
a
it's going
fire.
to need them later.
Or maybe we should stick it. I don't know. Should we stick a bath bomb in the water?
Good
Make
question. That's a good
know what kind of
question.
residue it'll leave in the pump?
Yeah, that was my question too.
Yeah, it'll be gunky.
Yeah, I don't want that happening to
Let's see what
your
makes
precious
it
well.
in the fire.
I guess.
Although I'm
Well, I don't
wondering,
know how much
maybe I
alcohol
should.
was in it.
I would put it in the fire and see what happens.
It smells really good.
Well, is it hard alcohol or is it wine?
Why not? If something goes boom, we'll know what it is.
Should be fine. Splash it, don't pour it.
All right.
Just it can be poured out. It just can't be poured in the fire. Don't forget to set an offering up for your individual ancestors.
Yeah.
These two are mine, right?
I think yeah. I think so. That's mine.
Where the Disney, you gotta sit in the same spot.
The slow roll.
How are we doing? You got Frankie's stuff. Perfect. Y'all need to get more friends. Clearly they're doing a better job than we are. And it's just for a baby.
There's parties all over.
Sounds like they're advertising their music album.
You know what that is?
Grass?
Lemongrass?
Smells like oregano or parsley.
It's neither of those.
Is it alfalfa?
Could be it's alfalfa. That's what it is.
Okay.
How do horses get all the nutrition from
Alfalfa. I barely even know ya.
Some of those herbs are really old too, 'cause I brought them.
It's because they don't always put them out, so nobody uses them. You see, they're all sitting at the bottom down there.
Maybe I should make it a personal project to.
Dump.
Yeah, we could do a dump ritual on a full moon or something. And then I know who to go to buy all that stuff in bulk. So
Well,
Costco?
we might want to consider some kind of different boxes.
that's what I was thinking too. That's why I say personal project.
Yeah. No, I just mean like in general, one to
Something
fit
that
better in the
fits better.
crate, but also easier to set up on the table so
Right.
that people can
Right.
see what's up there and
Like
maybe
a
have some
rack.
labels or
Yeah, like a rack
rack
with
with-
little square.
yeah, something like that, or some
Something.
little those little glass jars that are not going to blow away when we set the Tupperware with herbs in it blows away really easy, so
Right.
they're hard to put
So we
up.
need something with weight.
Yeah, so maybe those little glass jars, square, they take up less space. Like little square jars or little square
Yeah.
boxes even.
I will. No, I will go on the hunt. Amazon is a wonderful place.
The box that we just got to hold all of the new headphones
Mhm.
comes with all kinds of little bins in it.
I'll take a look at it.
I don't mean we need yet another one of those in house. We were just joking about, or maybe one of those with all their little bins.
No. Yeah.
But maybe something a little bit smaller than that has bins in it. I mean, I'm
I've
sure
seen
there's
herb
something like
things
that.
that are square and magnetic.
Right. Yeah, I
There you
have
go.
two.
Something
Yeah.
like
They're
that.
metal usually, but not
Right, and then it
plastic.
comes in a little metal
Metal's
box,
fine,
and we
just
just
as long as
pull
it's
it
something
out.
that has enough weight that it's not going to blow away like
Right.
the Tupperwares.
Right.
Are we ready?
Yes.
Yeah. Then let
Okay.
us let us
Deb's got a
continue.
personal project. I love doing stuff like that anyway.
Of course you do, science teacher.
It's more than that.
Creation is a wonderful thing. My friends, please bring your attention back to the sacred center. If you need more time to collect your offerings or gifts, or to arrange an offering on your behalf, please continue in the text chat window. We'll just don't. But now it is time for us to call our guests of honor, and your attention and energies will make it easier for them to join us. Welcome to the divine beings, the honor heroes and honored dead, to the fairies, gnomes, and other beings of nature, and to all of you who have gathered here in our sanctuary. We pray you join us in showing worth to our guests of honor on this holy rite. And first, Viviana will issue a formal invitation to the ancestors of the magical arts.
Musical arts.
I'm sorry? Yeah, right. It does say musical.
I know. We call to you now, ancestors of the musical arts. I call to those musicians who looked into their past, preserving the rich music of the past into the modern era. I call to Chopin, who incorporated Polish folk tunes into the romantic style of the day, whose music became a powerful symbol of Polish resistance against Nazi Germany. Pete Seeger, who studied American folk music as an academic and then recorded it as a musician. Ernesto Cabur Aramayo, the Bolivian who founded a band to preserve the legacy of Andean folk music and founded a museum to preserve the instruments of indigenous people in his country. I call to those composers whose creations defined the zeitgeist of their own era. Arcangelo Corelli, whose complicated counterpoint and rich harmonies defined the high Baroque period. Arnold Schoenberg, whose dissonance fascinated not just his contemporaries who supported his musical project, but the Nazis, who hated his music so much that they played it constantly as an example of degenerate Jewish music. Rory Gallagher, the greatest guitarist you never heard of, Jimi Hendrix's favorite guitarist. And I call to the musical inventors, people who created the instruments whose sounds would define the future. Adolf Sax, who invented the saxophone, a symbol of both jazz music and sexuality. George Beauchamp, who invented the electric guitar and the amp. And Wendy Carlos, a pioneer in electronic music, whose tools now define not just one genre of music, but most of the music created in the modern day. Melodic masters, be welcome among us.
Melodic Masters, be welcome among us. And now Gavin will invite the ancestors of the visual arts.
We call to you now, ancestors of the visual arts, O creators of feasts for the eyes and for the senses. You architects inspiring us to new heights of fancy and heights and flights of fancy, from Imhotep's pyramids to Frank Lloyd Wright's Falling Waters. And you martial artists overcoming the odds, like Bruce Lee's acrobatics and Muhammad Ali's butterflies and bees. And you dancers, flowing from floor to ceiling in pairs like Fred and Ginger, Nureyev and Baryshnikov, are in groups with Martha Graham, Isadora Duncan, and Michael Jackson. Also, you painters of flat paintings that make us see in 3 dimensions. Van Gogh, Da Vinci, Monet, Picasso, as well as the lifelike and abstract that reaches across time and space. Rodin, Calder, Koons, and not to forget those left-handed hand turtles, Donatello, Leonardo, Raphael, and Michelangelo, all of whom cross categories. All of you who are ultimately inspired by the ever-creative Gaia with her endlessly changing landscapes and sunsets and vistas leading into infinity. Which one? Ocular artists, be welcome among us.
Ocular
Ocular
artists,
artists,
be
be
welcome
welcome
among
among
us. And finally, Stanley will invite the ancestors of the vocal arts.
Sorry, it's too late.
I call to you now, ancestors of the vocal arts, all of you, both known to us and unknown. We call to famous orders of the past. First, we call to you, Pericles, well-known Athenian statesman. You gave one of the greatest speeches at the funeral of the recent dead during the Peloponnesian War. Next, we call to you, Gaius Julius Caesar, Roman general, politician, and dictator for life. Your speeches, though you were an unknown, had shown you were able to change the course of history. And finally, to Martin Luther King, preacher and activist, your famous speech about a dream still echoes to this day. We also call on the famous voice actors. First, we call Mel Blanc, the man of 1,000 voices. Your voice's legacy is the animated characters such as Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, Tweety, Sylvester the Cat, Yosemite Sam, Foghorn Leghorn, and the Tasmanian Devil. Next, we call Robin Williams, comedian and creator. You are still known for your improvisational skills and a wide variety of characters you created on the spur of the moment and portrayed on film, in dramas, and comedies alike. And finally, we call to you Judith Ava Barcy. You were an actress taken too soon. You were most known as Ducky's voice in the film Land Before Time, but your voice echoes in many other places. And lastly, we call it the famous singers. First, we call it the king of rock and roll himself, Elvis Presley. You became one of the most significant cultural figures of the 20th century. Next, we call to you Luciano Pavarotti, Italian operatic tenor who crossed over into popular music during the last part of his career, eventually becoming the most acclaimed tenors of all time. Finally, we call to you John Lennon, singer, songwriter, and dreamer. Your songwriting partnership with Paul McCartney remains the most successful in history as the primary songwriters of the Beatles. To all the other ancestors of the vocal arts, we invite you here tonight. Eloquent elucidationists, be welcome among us.
Be welcome among us.
Be welcome among us. And now, my friends, let us call to our individual ancestors, those who we knew, those who we would like to have known, those whose lives have inspired us, and those whose lives have brought us to the place we are tonight. And so I invite you then to come forward to the ancestor shrine and name an ancestor you'd like to invite to our sanctuary tonight. Please use the, just speak up when you'd like to take a turn on the microphone. To whom do you call?
I call to Grandma Anna.
And how shall we know her?
The sunflowers in her hair and her giant Coke bottle glasses.
And what did you bring her?
I brought her squirt and halva.
To Grandma Anna, who knows how to use a lighter better than I do, with the Coke bottle glasses. Be welcome among us.
Probably shouldn't have put it there. It's fine.
To whom do you call? Say again. And how shall we know her?
The homeless took her in from the hospice grounds. I saw 2 white hospital
And what did you bring her?
butterscotch. Hard alcohol.
In the bowl. To Grandma, whose name I can't pronounce, who had a hard life.
Gaily Asquith Trap. My mother's mother, my grandmother.
Be welcome among us.
Be welcome
Be
among
welcome
us.
among us.
Would you like me to go next?
Certainly. To whom do you
Oh.
call?
I call Grandmother Bruni.
Bruni.
Mm-hmm.
And how shall we know her?
She shall be known for her wisdom, her love and compassion for her family, and being very well educated and helping students.
And what did you bring her?
I brought her a rose. I have one in my hand, but I had somebody grab a rose for her.
We have petals.
Oh, petals. Okay, that works.
To Grandma Bruni with the wise guy attitude. Be welcome among us.
My Uncle George.
Be welcome among us.
Be welcome among us.
That would be her right there when she was 16 on the picture. All right. I'm just going to drop you. There we go.
And to whom do you call?
I called Thomas Stannis, who fought in the Revolutionary War.
And how shall we know him?
He was captured by the British, so but was able to secure his freedom. So he's known by his revolutionary spirit.
Are you in line?
And what did you bring him?
Some whiskey.
To the revolutionary spirited Thomas guy. Maybe you could try not pouring that all over the stones. Ah, we got it. Be welcome among us.
Be
You're
welcome,
welcome among us. Do you want to go?
If you have another one, you can do it.
I'm going to go. All right. Mine come as a pair.
To whom do you call?
To Abuelo and Abuela Nunez, otherwise known as Martin and Paquita,
And how shall we know them?
by their love of pinnacle and drinking.
Oh, yeah.
And what did you bring them?
Doesn't have a party.
And I have brought them whiskey to enjoy in their merriment at this ritual.
I love to drink, but not at a ritual.
To Abuela and
Abuelo.
Grandma and Grandpa,
That's
whose names I can't pronounce.
Nunez,
Nunez, who likes their whiskey.
who loves their drink. Yep. Okay.
Come
Just
on, Candle.
Will it go right on it? I don't want to mess this up.
I'd rather if you pour it on one of the bowls or just set
Okay.
it out on the table. I
We can
may
pour
have
it
to
on the
get them
bowl.
a new candle. This one is not cooperating.
Okay. Do you want me to wait? I'll wait till you light.
It's kind of the stem on it's too short to not staying lit.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay.
Be welcome among us.
Be welcome
welcome
among
among
us. There we go.
You want to come?
Already did.
Oh, we got like
Right?
2 more.
Sorry for standing in the way.
Somebody take a camera.
If you're not otherwise occupied. Should I take it for you, Viviana?
To whom do you call?
Yeah, sure.
My dad, Don Lang.
Don. And how shall we know him?
Laugh.
And what did you bring him? To the often laughing Don, be welcome among us.
Be welcome among us.
Be welcome
among
among
us.
us.
1, 2, 3. This goes on the side. To whom do you call?
Great Aunt Sadie,
And how shall we know her?
by the warm snow in her hands.
And what did you bring her?
Squirt and Halva like her niece.
To Great Aunt Sandy, who somehow doesn't melt snow. Be welcome among us.
Be welcome
welcome
among
among
us.
us.
Welcome among us.
If you will.
To whom do you call?
I was lucky enough to have more than one parent in my life, at various times in my life. Some
Like my
of those
friend Frank.
who stepped up to keep me from falling apart when I was prone to. And I bring them whiskey because I don't know how all of them managed to drink as much more than I ever did.
To all Gavin's parents is
The-
be welcome among us.
Be
welcome
welcome
among
among
us.
us.
Among us.
that we did.
Any others?
I got one more for Hesper. Because they couldn't be here.
To whom do you call?
Rodney Mallory,
And how shall we know him?
by his evil laughter.
And what did you bring him?
Arizona iced tea.
To Rodney, who has been hanging out with the League of Evil. Apparently doesn't like
Naughty
candles.
leprechaun.
Come on, later. Be welcome among us.
Be welcome
Be
among
Be
among
us.
us.
welcome among us.
Did the green one go out? Any others?
This was for the other half of those. I was saying the men who provided me with safety and guidance, and the women who also provided me with guidance and sustenance.
To
All
all-
of whom were known for, could be recognized by always seeing to it that I was well fed.
To all the people who fed Gavin and somehow managed to keep him skinny. Be welcome among us.
Be welcome.
Be
among us.
welcome
These are all
among us.
cooking herbs.
Somebody want to take this so I can go get mine?
Jonathan didn't want me to drink that power too.
Yeah. Well, you were just too slow.
Who is this for?
Agnes Rogers?
How shall we know her?
By her red hair, by her willingness to drink cold coffee in ice cream form, and the amount of tea that she always had ready for us every time we visited.
To Agnes.
Be welcome among us.
Be welcome
Be
among
welcome
us.
among
us.
us. One more.
Who is this for?
For Robert Kronk, who just recently, well, not recently, it's been almost a year since he's passed now.
How should we know Robert?
That's a good one.
Have fun.
He was a trickster on earth, loved his fishing and fishing boat, and loved a good football game.
To Robert.
And I brought him peanuts, because, man, he used to love to eat those at the stadium.
And I have one last one.
Who is this for?
The original rat bastard, Ray Partenheimer.
How should we know Ray?
By his chainmail and by his utter devotion to protecting the king.
To Ray.
Enjoy your drinks. Any others? Everybody's done? Do we have any offerings to make to our ancestors of the arts tonight? I invite you to bring forward to the center. Deb.
Got it.
Just in time. This doesn't clip real well, so. Why? It just didn't want to stay. Because you have a giant belt.
Yeah, probably. Do you want me to flip it around and you could do it to the metal part that's thinner? Will that work better?
No, I think it might be too big, thick also.
Okay. I could just hold it.
Do this for you.
Hey, that works too.
Remind me while I get fresh with my friends.
When you do the closing one,
All right.
Don't sour.
Offerings to the ancestors of the arts.
I still have rose petals, Frankie, in your balm.
Oh, okay. Now the question is like, where do we put it? Because I don't want to contaminate the water or have you guys contaminate the water.
No, we'll put the. So this is to the ancestors of the arts.
Okay.
So do you want the rose petals or do you want the bath bomb?
Rose petals.
Okay. Okay.
All right. To the ancestors of the arts, we welcome you.
Accept the sacrifice.
Accept the sacrifice.
ancestors of the arts, accept this sacrifice.
Accept this sacrifice.
Sacrifice.
Ancestors of the arts, not only have you inspired me and made my life more worth living, you've also helped me make a living, having been a performer for the last 45, almost 50 years. Accept the sacrifice.
Accept the
Accept the
sacrifice. Any other offerings?
I'm good.
Please hold your offerings. We kind of skipped through that. Make your offering, yes, accept this sacrifice. Blah blah blah. Yeah. I am missing a script. Hang on a sec. I think it's still on the computer. Alright, so this is one last reminder to all of our ancestors. Or maybe it's perhaps a reminder to us and our ancestors. Death is nothing at all. I have only slipped away to the next room. I am I, and you are you. Whatever we were to each other, that we still are. Call me by my old familiar name. Speak to me in the easy way which you always used. Put no difference into your tone. Wear no forced air of solemnity or sorrow. Laugh as we always laughed at the little jokes we enjoyed together. Play, smile, think of me, pray for me. Let my name be ever the household word that it always was. Let it be spoken without effect, without the trace of a shadow on it. Life means all that it ever meant. It is the same that it ever was. There is absolute unbroken continuity. Why should I be out of mind because I am out of sight? I am but waiting for you, for an interval, somewhere, very near, just around the corner. All is well. And we have a song also as a offering. If you all would turn to page number, song number 14, I think.
16 is Well of Memory.
Is it 16?
Yep.
What was 14?
Walk with Wisdom.
No, that's not supposed to be on our list.
16.
Yeah. Shall we? We just lost, I think we just lost Frankie again.
And she's
Oh, I'm here. It just lost connection for a moment and joined back.
Oh, okay. I just heard a you dropped out sort of thing. This is to the ancestors. Or do you want to look at those ancestors? I think we should look at those ancestors. They're very
We have a
ancestry.
plethora of ancestors to look at.
Except for I'm now blinded. How are you doing?
Sunglasses help. You're red, right?
I think I'm blue.
Okay, that's not what you said last time.
No.
Ready? Look into
the
well of memory. Look into the well of time. Look into the well of ages. I am yours.
You are mine. Listen
to the ancient stories.
Listen
to the ancient songs.
Listen
to the ancient wisdom.
I go on.
You go on. Deep within, our hearts are beating. Deep within, our hearts we know. Our descendants will remember. Our love flows. Your love flows. Look into the well of memory. Look into the well of time. Look ancient stories. Listen to the ancient songs. Listen to the ancient wisdom. I go on, you go on. Deep within, our hearts are beating. Deep within, our hearts we know. Our descendants will remember. Our love flows, your love flows.
And so we have given our love and our wealth to the rhythmic rizzlers, to the inventors of inspirational images, and the wondrous wordsmiths. Now let our voices rise on the fire. Let our voices resound in the well. Let our words echo from here to the realms beyond. Ancestors of the arts, we honor you.
Ancestors of the arts, we honor you.
O melodic masters, ocular artistes, and eloquent elocutionists, and personal ancestors, we have given you our praise and our offerings, and now we ask that you indulge us as we give to those others who have joined us here today. May you bless them as you bless us. And now that the guests of honor have received the lion's share of our bounty, if there are any other offerings to be made to the mighty kindreds assembled among us today, to the deities, to the nature spirits, or any ancestors we have not yet already named, you may take a moment to come forward and do so, or do so on your altar, or open up your mic and have us make an offering in your behalf. Now's the time. Personal offerings.
All right, I'll go ahead and start with the bath bomb. Okay.
Back up. See what, I don't know what this is going to do. Okay.
All right. Aphrodite, I honor you as you continuously remind me that love comes in many, many forms. Blessed be.
Blessed be.
Blessed be. Accept the sacrifice.
Accept this sacrifice.
Others?
I have one. I'll pour this off the side. It's the wine. Hernunos, my mother loved the forests and the waters of those lands. She had a wild skunk take a nice little nap in her lap during one afternoon beneath a good tree. Please take care of my mother, Hernunos. She needs help.
Accept this sacrifice.
Accept this sacrifice.
Accept the sacrifice.
Accept this
Accept this
sacrifice.
sacrifice.
I would like to make another offering
Of what?
of do you guys happen to have like basil or anything? And if not, it's
Let
just
Viviana
it'll-
go and
There
I'll
is
go check.
basil over there.
There's
Yes?
basil there.
Okay.
yes, okay.
Go ahead, Viviana. It's
Okay.
going to take me a sec.
Almighty Thor. Thank you for your lesson. For your many lessons. I am surprised by how much you've taught me.
Yeah, that was
Accept
great.
this sacrifice.
Accept this
Accept the
sacrifice.
What are you looking for?
What? I got the basil.
For 2 trips,
And this
one
right
short and quick, one long, protracted, and both concluded safely.
much fun.
For all this and all you do, I thank you. Accept the sacrifice. Because sometimes war is necessary. Ares, accept my sacrifice.
Accept this
This
sacrifice.
Athena, for wisdom that's needed now. Athena, accept this offering.
Accept the
Accept the
sacrifice.
sacrifice. Okay, Frankie.
All right. All right. Great healing goddess Bridget, I call to thee to help a coworker's nephew make a safe recovery. This is for Cameron. Help him feel better. Accept the sacrifice.
Accept the
Accept the
sacrifice.
Accept my sacrifice.
Accept
This
this sacrifice. Others, Ray, do you need somebody to hold the camera? Are you good?
Hell. Sort of a thank you gift for watching over my loved ones who have passed and whoever else's. Accept this sacrifice.
Accept this
Accept the
sacrifice. Are there any other sacrifices to be made to our kindreds today? Then let us get comfortable. Let us gather around. Let us share memories. This is a moment for us to share stories about those whom we have invited, our ancestors, family members who have passed. This is our moment. Let us share it and share it with them. Anyone?
I'll take a crack at it.
Sure.
Okay, so this is gonna start a little grim, I suppose, but I did want to explain the who holds the snow in her hands.
For sure.
So, my great aunt Sadie, my great great aunt Sadie, I know her as great aunt Sadie because that's what my mom calls her. She was a little bit eccentric. By the time my mom met her, she would go through the house and she would be like, it's snowing, just all the time. She would sometimes like hold her hands in a certain way, like there was something in there, and then whisper to it. And for this, my mom at one point, said to her mother, after great Aunt Sadie had left, like, thank gosh, crazy Aunt Sadie is gone. And my grandmother slapped her across the face. You see, great Aunt Sadie had been in the Holocaust as a little girl. And she'd been in Auschwitz, I believe. Auschwitz-Birkenau. And she remembered the ash falling from the sky like snow. And she would grab it as it would fall, and she would speak to it, because any of that ash could have come from her father, her mother, anyone, right? That she loved, that had passed away, a friend she had made in the camp, etc., etc. And I remember hearing this child when I was maybe younger maybe too young to be hearing stories like this. And just like that image of her just desperately reaching out to what is falling from the sky like snow, trying to hold on to a piece of her ancestors.
I think my stories are more pedestrian. I have so many because so much of my family, I'm at that place in my life where I'm losing members of my family. I have memories and stories about my grandmother teaching me how to cook. I was the first grandchild. In fact, she taught me before her own daughters how to cook her infamous rice and beans. And one of the ingredients that she used is called jamon, which is a salted bacon. And I learned the recipe as a child and carried it in my head because it wasn't something you ever wrote down. But I didn't have any. I went to go make it at home, and I was going to bring it to her because my grandfather at that time was sick, and she was very overwhelmed, and we were concerned she wasn't eating. So I thought, oh, I'm going to make her rice and beans. But I couldn't find jamon. So I was like, oh man, what am I going to do? And I'm going to sneak some bacon in it instead, because it's kind of the same, right? It's smoked a little, but it'll be okay. So I diced up a bunch of, bacon, and I cooked it just the way she showed me. And I put it in the pot, all cooked and everything, and went down to, they were living in San Clemente at the time. And I got there, kids in tow, and I was all, abuela, I made you rice and beans. And she goes, oh, good, your grandfather hasn't eaten yet. And I'm like, okay, well, there was an ingredient I didn't have, but, I substituted. I hope it's okay. And I was all, worried and, it's like when it's that whole, that commercial, if there's a speck of dust in the house, my abuela will find it. It's that kind of thing. But with her, it was cooking. So any little thing that's off, she's going to taste it, and she's going to do that, oh, well, it's good, in that voice. And anyway, so she makes a bowl for my grandfather, makes a bowl for herself, and we serve the kids, and I sit down, and we go to eat. And she puts it to her mouth, and I hold my breath.
For you.
For that second, And she looks up at my grandfather, and he tastes it, and he looks thinking, I guess he thought it was going to be bad, and they were going to have to play nice. And he looks up at her, and she's like, she didn't say anything. And then finally, it seemed like eternity, and I'm sure it was just a few seconds. He looks at her and he goes, I'm sorry, Paquita, but this rice and beans is better than yours. And my grandmother said, only my granddaughter, my queen, only she can surpass my art.
Damn fine teacher.
And so, yes, I am the holder of Abuela's rice and beans with one ingredient changed. In fact, my brothers have called me in the past to say, what else did she put in that? So that was pretty funny.
I guess I'll go next if no one else wants to go next yet.
Surely, go ahead.
Okay. So As Debbie would know, that my grandmother, her mom, would always call me the princess, along with calling my sister Precious and my cousin the Lovely. Anyway, I digress. But the reason why I said it is because I'm thinking of the one time where back in Huntington Beach, where somehow my room was flooded and you guys had to redo the whole master bathroom.
Yep.
And
There was mold
so,
in the wall.
oh, yeah, okay. You remember it better because this happened when I was a kid still.
Right.
So what I did was I got to stay with grandma during the evenings and the mornings. And yeah, it's basically having the princess treatment. Like, it's like, oh, if you need anything, just let me know and all that. And okay. And yeah, I was feeling like I was being treated like a princess there. And then the other time was when she took me to the performing arts in Costa Mesa to see the boy. I'm saying it wrong. I don't know if I'm saying it right. Bolshoi Ballet, and yeah, we had a really great time. And yeah, whenever I think of Grandma, I'm always gonna think that she along with Mom made me the woman I am today and the girly girl that I still am to this very day.
Yeah, it was an unfortunate thing that she passed away so young. Because both Sam and I were not girly girls. So you were her first chance to really do that, lavish the princess in all the ways of grandma, and you would appreciate it. I would have been, it's a dress. You were like, ooh, it had ruffles.
I get to twirl with it.
Yeah.
Whee!
Unfortunately, though, she didn't get to live long enough to do that kind of as much doting on Vivian, who would have been her other girly girl.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
From a very young age, I think we were meant to be free labor, but my one cousin and I were shipped off for the first weekend in December on Friday night to my grandmother's house because my grandmother made cookies for Christmas. Hundreds and hundreds of cookies, probably about 8 different kinds. And we were supposed to help with cleanup, help with, but we started going when I was like 5 or 6. And to everyone's surprise, our grandmother would give us responsibility, and my cousin and I would rise up to it. And we got actually really good at making cookies. So by the time I was 7, I was perfectly able to, bake cookies, bake a cake, and I'm in 2nd grade, and it's like, um, that was that legacy that she handed on to us. It's like I can't make cookies without thinking of my grandmother now. But it was also funny. My mother hated baking, so I became responsible for all the baking in the house and stuff. And it's just the way you know, every family finds a way to adapt to fill in to like whoever's in charge of things, and it's um, so my godmother, who I lived with when her husband died. Um, Her husband was the first ghost I ever saw. He showed up at his funeral, and he basically asked me to keep an eye on her. And, he said, until she joined him. Um, and so I lived with her until she died. And then I was on tour. I was in in a car that I had bought because it was the easiest one. She had trouble with her legs, so she had trouble getting in and out of a car, and she. So I had bought. I was looking at 3 different cars. I drove every single one of them home and picked the one that was easiest for her to get in and out of. That was how I made the final choice. So I was driving that car, and it was about a month and a half after she died, and suddenly she's in the car next to me. They'd amputated her leg due to a blood clot. She had diabetes. Like before, she's like, "Look, they gave me my leg back. Look, my ankles are not swollen anymore." She's going on about it, and I'm like, it was just so her, and I'm like, oh, this is. And then she said, and I saw, Roger, her husband, told me to say thank you for staying with me, and until I could join him. And she said, and I saw your grandfather, and your grandmother's he's looking forward to her. She'll be joining us soon. And I'm like, just what I wanted to know. But I was sort of thankful for the way things passed down, and that the next opportunity I had to go home, I would go visit my grandmother, but I would also spend time with my other friends and things. The next time I went home, I spent the entire 3 days I had off with my grandmother, and she died the following week. And I did that because I'd been told she was going to join my grandfather a few weeks earlier. It's like the ancestors are still looking out for us. They're still pushing us to be our best. They're still pushing for the best ultimate outcome for everyone.
Back in 2006, my parents were with my uncle who was in California, Fort Hills, in Sierra Nevada, Jamestown, out here to hospice because he was passing away from cancer, basically. And but my dad's other brother had the mom living with him. She was like 98 at the time, and so we brought him out here. My Uncle Leroy out here. He was in the hospice, and I remember the day before he passed, he was last thing he said that I heard him say was, "I want my mommy." He was in his late 78 years old. He said, "I want my mommy," and so the next day he passed. So my dad was calling everyone, and so he called my Uncle Don. Don was living with my mother, and then my dad was calling his my other cousin Art, and then a few people, but he was on the phone with Art, and then he got a call from Don, so he called back, and Don says, "Yeah, Mom was saying she stood up and said, you know what, I think I'm going to die," and then Don said, "Oh no, you're not," and she made a couple of gurgling noises and collapsed. It was the same day that Leroy passed. She passed the same day with a couple hours.
Wow.
The one memory I have of my grandmother Gailey Asquith-Trapp, which is my mother's mother. My mother's name is Leanne Majel Allen. I'm not going to say her full maiden name because it's at least 10 words long, but the best memory that she told me was that when I was a baby or a toddler, both of us were visiting Grandma Gay in Dolan Springs a few years ago, and she still had her Jeep and could drive around. Out in one of the back areas of Nevada, outside the city, a mountain lion mother felt safe enough to rest upon the hood of Grandma Gay's Jeep, along with her own children and her cubs, just having fun. Another time with my father, driving back from Great Basin around sunset, if it was coming back from Great Basin. The backcountry of Nevada sky had, instead of blue towards sunset, turned all turquoise, and the clouds were misting downward like curtains of prismatic rainbow in water vapor form. Those parts of Nevada have been kind and nice to my mother. My mother even, for the one time, hiked a trail in Nevada, was to Red Rock Canyon. I wish that my mother's health wasn't in so bad a health, that she wasn't so broken inside. But now she's buried at the foot of Raintree along a mount toward the top of the Mount Charleston Trail. Our pets Ashes, Sammy, Bud, Snub, and Penny are buried in the valley of the pet cemetery. Me and my father, even after Mom long crossed over, took in our home a small night owl hawk bird. Apparently that bird was just overstressed, so me and my father gave that bird some peace inside our home upon what was Mom's desk. And I noticed the last fight, the last breath before that bird crossed over, and we buried that nighthawk owl bird in the pet cemetery with Sammy under the rose bush. So in each way, me and my mom did service, and my mother taught me big city defense. I'm a very reflective person, and all the memories of the past may not change. I find new ways to learn lessons, new lessons each time for what all my family did. Someone else, if you want to share.
I think the thing I remember best about everyone that I know who's passed are smells. There are times, there are meals that I make that I'm completely transported back because I walk out of the house to get something out of the car and I walk back in and the house smells like Grandma's apartment building. Or we were at Ren Fair last month down in Maryland, or I guess up in Maryland now. And a good friend of mine, Ray, used to be one of the King's Guards at the fair. And the smell of the entire fair, and it's not like the food, it's just like the smell of the trees and the smell of the dirt. It wasn't even dusty because it was raining, but there was something about the smells that bring back all the memories of the good times that we had, the afternoons talking and drinking wine, and I don't know, there's just something about smells that always bring back the memories of the days when I have family over, and I think I really feel sorry for anybody who was affected by COVID that never got their sense of smell back. Because sounds, yeah, pictures, yeah, you know, all of those things, even textures, yeah, but, you know, smells are so, to me, they're so powerful, really, they're really strong. So, if I'm ever excited because the house smells like I've been boiling cabbage all day, it's because it smells like I just went to visit my grandma. You know, if I'm ever excited because the house smells like somebody spilt wine in the house, not that I want any of you spilling wine in my house.
I won't, sir.
But if I am excited about it, it's because it reminds me of Ray and how many times we filled up his cup with wine or mead. Especially the time we filled it up with mulled mead and didn't realize the mead had gotten as warm as it had, and it melted the wax that sealed the inside of his cup.
Whoops.
Oops. We're like, no, it hasn't melted any cups. It'll be fine. Apparently it got warmer. It had been sitting too long, and it got nice and warm, and it just melted it. But, you know, those days, he used to come visit when I lived in Pennsylvania. His grandmother or something, or mother or something, lived up that way, and he'd stop by every so often and be like, hey, I got some wine. You want to have a drink? Sure, come on over. You know, there was that the smell. Matter of fact, there's a bottle of wine sitting on the offering table right now. When I opened it up to pour a drink out, I was like, that kind of reminds me of Ray. So I can't think of a specific story that's the story to share, but I can tell you there are smells that I want to share with you sometimes. So come on over and I'll boil up some cabbage and some corned beef, or just some cabbage and some hamburger and rice, or just some cabbage and whatever, and share it with you guys. Matter of fact, I do have Brussels sprouts in the house. It's kind of like cabbage,
It's
right?
sorta, yeah.
Corned beef and
That's-
cabbage would get my grandmother's memory going.
Yeah.
See? Yeah. Grandma also did stuffed cabbage, which was the hamburger and rice in a little ball wrapped
Yes.
up in a cabbage leaf and then baked. And that was yummy too. But apparently, all the German and Irish immigrants who lived in the apartment house that she lived in, it was not a complex. It was just a little house, maybe like 8 apartments tops. Um, apparently, they all cooked the boiled cabbage and the boiled potatoes rather, because you would open the door to go up the stairs to her apartment, and the entire building just smelled like cabbages and stuff. I'm like, anyways, there's my share. Anybody else?
Baking bread smell.
Sometimes I don't think anybody who's dead in my family made bread. I think they're all still alive. For now.
Well, it was funny. My grandmother baked bread, and my father at one point wanted the store-bought bread. And it's like, so we had store-bought bread, and then I went to my grandmother's, and she made homemade bread. I'm like, went home and like, why do we eat this shit out of the plastic bag? And it's like,
That's funny. I have to share at least one more. This truly illustrates my father's sense of humor. When I was a kid and we had first moved, well, we had lived there in Huntington Beach for a while, but they were doing the landscape for the backyard. And there were a bunch of stables around. So the ground was that clay kind of ground. So my dad could go down to the stables and get horse manure by the truckloads for free. So
I know that smell.
yeah. So wait, it gets better. So I know. That's what I was saying. This smell thing is going to take a U-turn. So I must have been about, I had to have been 12, and my brother was a couple years younger, 10. This was a real Tom Sawyer moment, too, and Huckleberry Finn at the same time. But we're getting up there, and he says, I want you guys to shovel all of this manure and take it out to the backyard. And we're like, okay, fine. What do we get? Actually, he bribed us and said, well, I'll take you for ice cream. We'll go get ice cream. And I said, okay, we'll go get ice cream. So we're sitting there shoveling, and it's a big job for a 12-year-old and a 10-year-old. And we're shoveling, and as we're going along, a couple of our friends come along. What are you doing? We're shoveling manure and putting it in the backyard because so my parents can do their garden. Oh, okay. But my dad's going to take us for ice cream afterwards. And they're like, oh, ice cream? Can we shovel too? I'm like, sure, okay. Let me go ask my dad. So I asked him. He says, yeah, bring your friends, whatever, whoever helps, we'll get ice cream. Because he was a really great guy that way. And I'm thinking, oh, the ice cream. We have to hurry because the ice cream man is going to come with the truck and at a certain amount of time. Because this is what I'm thinking. So we get it all done. And the ice cream man starts coming, and my dad comes out, and he's all, oh, you guys are done. You ready to go? And we're like, yeah, just in time the ice cream man's coming. His dad's like, oh, no, we're not doing the ice cream man. No. I'm like, what? He goes, well, get in the back of the truck. It's empty. It's stinky, but it's empty. We're stinky. You don't even want to know what we look like. And he drives us to Farrell's, which is a sit-down restaurant, ice cream parlor. Yeah. And we hadn't cleaned up. I don't even think we'd washed our hands yet. That was his sense of humor, and he could care less what anybody else in the place thought. And he bought us the biggest ice cream sundae they had. It's called the Zoo. I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with Farrell's. They used to do this big show where they would come out with the ice cream for the zoo. It was in I don't know, like a sling kind of thing the guys would carry on their shoulders with this gigantic bowl with ice cream at the top, and it would had all these different plastic animals, and they'd run around the entire restaurant clanging the bell, and they made a big to-do about it anyway. And then imagine they came to our table,
And you smelled like the zoo.
And we smelled like the zoo, exactly. Yeah. But that was a good memory of him. You know, coming and checking us. Are you done? Are you almost done? Are you almost done? Yeah. And just sitting there and stinking ferals up to holy heaven. It was crazy. So now every time I smell manure, no, I'm only
You're thinking of ice cream.
Good shit. That story was good shit.
There's nothing better than sharing memories with friends and family, both our deceased friends and family, and all of you who are friends and family together. But now, the sun is going down, and as sun sets, so ends Samhain, the thinnest night of the year. Or really the thinnest night and day of the year. Our seer Gavin is going to let us listen to what our kindreds and ancestors have to say back to us in response to all of our sharing, to our offerings, and to our memories.
So I got this set of Wild Mystic Oracle cards, and it seemed very appropriate for the ancestor ritual. And I have to say, I think our ancestors and our nature spirits and all liked the cards too, because I love these readings. So the ancestors speak of the dolphin and balance and equilibrium, animals that live in water yet breathe air, dolphins in myth and heraldry indicate stability, and so it's like find balance in your various aspects of life. Calm in a storm, understanding in chaos. Are your mind, body, and spirit in balance? Or might upheaval be needed to achieve that balance? The nature spirits speak of the jellyfish, which speaks of intention and psychological sensitivity. Translucent, they seem to move with the water, yet they move with intention. They work with the currents to find their way. You know, so they twist and go with the flow. So trust your own ability to go with the flow, yet set your intention so that you can guide and veer within it. And as always, be sensitive to change. The Shining Ones speak of the shark and fear and the unknown. Fight or flight syndrome when when faced with the unknown and unfamiliar. They're a symbol of fear, yet most sharks are not dangerous to humans. So respect your fear, but seek understanding. Look for the truth behind your fears, real versus imagined. Facing fears honestly to manifest true healing and courage. And so, because we did 3 different aspects of our ancestors, I drew 3 different cards. So I got a little carried away here. The musical arts ancestors speak of our beloved jackalope. Believe in and appreciate the unknown. Not just American folklore, but Mexican and Iranian and several others does the jackalope appear. So appreciate the magical in everyday life. Keep a unique perspective and hold on to eccentricity. Believe in yourself and others and believe in creativity. The visual arts ancestors spoke of the octopus, known for his adaptation and flexibility and adjustment. They're also regenerative. When they're hurt or missing things, they can grow back limbs. So, when you feel hurt or missing something, be aware it can grow back. They're known for also being mimics and disguising themselves to adjust to their surroundings. So, get in when you can, be invisible when you can, and do what you need to when you need to. So think outside the box access, your life from a new perspective. So take a step back and reassess whenever it's needed. The ancestors speak of the bat, which is communication and connection, echolocation. Reach out however works for you to communicate. Be ready to change, to connect to the invisible. So be ready to talk through problems. The bat is also associated with storytellers, ancient and new stories. Find your own voice. Listen to the hidden messages that are awaiting you.
That is a powerful and timely message. Or messages. That was a lot of messages. But I think they were quite hit home for all of us. Thank you. In the days and weeks ahead, may we heed and be guided by these messages we have been received. Now, my friends, breathe deep and get yourself settled. The ways stand open before us, though somewhat diminished from earlier. These paths and whirling tunnels that reach from the realms to ourselves, and amongst us here in this sanctified space, and just beyond, the borders between our realms, there's a crowd of guests who've answered our invitations, entering into a temporary relationship with us, as we have given our sacrifices of songs, poems, herbs, oils, and alcohols, and praise for the kindreds and memories. Now we will ask them to deliver their blessings to us in return. We know that these blessings will be magnified many times by their greatness. My friends, as you are able, please stand or unmute your mic and speak truly. Is it your will to receive the blessings of the kindreds?
It is.
And will you receive these blessings without remorse, recrimination, or regret?
We
We will.
Then ask of your own free will.
Give us the waters.
Give us the waters. Give us the waters. Give us the waters.
Give us the waters.
Mighty ancestors, we meet you at your shrine with this vessel, that you may fill it to overflowing with your blessings.
Give us the waters.
Give
Give us the waters. Give us the waters. Give us the waters. Give us the waters. Give us the waters.
Great
Give us
spirits
the
of nature,
waters.
we meet
Give
you
us
at your
the
shrine
waters.
with this vessel,
Give
that
us
you
the
may fill it to
waters.
overflowing with your
Give us the
blessings.
waters. Give us the waters. Give us the waters. Give us the waters. Give us the waters.
Mighty
Give us the
deities of the
waters.
heavens and the underworld, we meet you at the crossroads with this vessel, that you may fill it to overflowing with your blessings.
Give us the waters. Give us the waters.
And the mighty ancestors of the
the
musical
waters.
arts, ancestors
us
of the
the
visual
waters.
arts, and
us
ancestors
the
of the vocal
waters.
arts, we
Give
present
us
this
the
vessel to
waters.
you, that you
Give
might
us
fill
the
it to
waters.
overflowing with your
Give us
blessings.
the waters. Give us the waters.
Give
Give
us
us the waters. Give us the waters.
this vessel
Give us the waters.
is
Give us
flowing,
the waters.
filled to
us the
overflowing and
waters.
glowing, a
Give us
container
the
of
waters.
blessings. Behold
Give
the
us the
waters of
waters.
life.
Behold the waters of life.
Now please join me in addressing these guests by reading aloud the words of affirmation from the order of service in the front of your songbook. Ancestors of the arts, shining ones, noble ones, ancient ones, we stand before you in pride, honor, and friendship, and accept these blessings which you have given. And now we give the first of the blessings to the patron of all Druidry, and to the patron of our grove, that those who support us may share in our fortunes. And now among us, let us share in these blessings.
Oh, sorry. priest.
Cute. I'm gonna get one for Ray.
Sorry. Little baptism there.
You know.
I don't know how to hold the other one. That one's yours.
I guess I didn't need to get it for you though.
Thank you.
And finally, we pour out this blessing for all of you who are attending remotely and for those of our grove who couldn't be with us today through no fault of their own. May these blessings find you no matter where you are. The waters of life.
The waters
Waters
of life.
of life.
Tastes just like church.
No, that's different.
Tastes just the same.
I love a Black American Southern Baptist revival.
Grape juice.
Great course.
Grape juice, right, exactly. Red grape juice tastes just like church.
It was sparkling, but I think the sparkle left somewhere during the day.
Oh, I got guava water flavoring.
Oh, there you go. And so, as this rite draws to a close, Gavin and I invite all of you to gather at the Ancestor Shrine for a moment. As the sun sets, I saw the light fade from the sky. On the wind I heard a sigh. And as the snowflakes covered our fallen brothers, I would say this last goodbye. Night is now falling, so ends this day. The road is now calling, and I must away. Over hill and under tree, through lands where never light had shone, by silver streams that run down to the sea. Under clouds, beneath the stars, over snow on winter's morn, I turn at last to paths that lead home. And though where the road then takes me, I cannot tell. We came all this way, but now comes the day to bid you farewell. Many places I have been, many sorrows I have seen, but I don't regret, nor will I forget all who took that road with me. Night is now falling, so ends this day. The road is now calling, and I must away. Over hill and under tree, through lands where never light had shone, by silver streams that run down to the sea. To these memories
days I will hold. With your blessings I will go, to turn at last to paths that lead home. And though where the road then takes me, I cannot tell. We came all this way, but now comes the day to bid you farewell. I bid you all a very fond farewell.
And so this rite draws to a close. Let us thank all of those who have accepted our invitations tonight. Let us begin with Viviana, Gavin, and Stanley for our guests of honor in the arts.
Harmonic heroes, we thank you for walking among us tonight. As this rite is ending, we give you this gift in parting, given out of love and asking nothing in return. Virtuoso ancestors of musical arts, we thank you.
Virtuoso ancestors, we thank you.
Inventors of inspirational images, we thank you for walking among us tonight. As this rite is ending, we give this gift to you in parting, given out of love and asking nothing in return. Inspired ancestors of the visual arts, we thank you.
Inspired ancestors, we thank you. Uh-oh. Gavin gave out 2 offerings.
Oh, I thought he had different ones.
We should have all had an extra one left over, but I think Gavin gave too little, Stanley gave too much.
I was supposed to give earlier.
You're fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I gave it later.
Ancestors of the vocal arts, as this rite is closing, we give you this thanks and offering, giving out of love and asking nothing in return. Ancestors of the vocal arts, we thank you.
Visionary
Yes.
ancestors, we
We
thank
thank
you.
you.
And now Stanley will stay at the Sacred Center and say goodnight to the ancestors, the other deities.
Shining ones, elders and brightest, we thank you for walking among us today. As this rite is ending, we give you this gift in parting, given out of love and asking nothing in return. Shining ones, we thank you.
Shining ones, we thank you. Now Jonathan will be at the Nature Shrine.
Spirits of the earth. Spirits of the earth, fully manifest on this mortal plane. We thank you for your presence in the sanctuary today. We know that you remain among us always, felt though rarely seen. But as this rite is ending, we give you this gift in parting, given out of love and asking nothing in return. Nature spirits, we thank you.
Nature spirits, we thank you. And finally with Gavin at the Ancestor Shrine.
Mighty ancestors, spirits of those gone before, thank you for joining us here today. As its rite is ending, we give you this gift in parting, given out of love and asking nothing in return. Ancestors, we thank you.
Ancestors, we thank you. Dark Soul Collector, Gatekeeper, you have stood with us at these crossroads, and your keen observations have kept the fires and waters safely contained to their tasks. Your mastery of the keys has kept us safe from those who would travel through the open ways to our sanctuary just to disrupt our worship. You have made it easier for our beloved kindreds to find their ways to our sanctuary as our guests, and you have seen them each safely back to their own realms. For all of this and more, we thank you.
We thank you.
We thank you.
And now apparently I have one more thank you to make, but it's on this side. Now, Scythe Bearer, our rite has come to an end, and we have no more to ask of you at this time. Before you depart, though, accept this final gift, given out of love and asking nothing in return. Fearsome Grim Reaper, we thank you.
Fearsome
Grim
Reaper.
We thank you.
Now, as our rite comes to an end, the giant skull is no longer needed to guide travelers. The connections to the ways, too, are no longer needed at this nexus. So let us calm the energies. Let us close the ways so that the veils between the realms may fall into place. Gatekeeping key people.
Mighty fire, gift from the skies above, still the whirlwind, and let the fiery tunnel collapse. Calm the twist, calm the burn, calm the twist, calm the burn.
Calm the twist, calm the burn, calm the twist, calm the burn.
Let the hungry flames dwindle until there is naught but smoke remaining.
Calm the burn, calm the twist, calm the burn, calm the twist, calm the burn, calm the twist, calm the burn.
And let the clouds of smoke break apart, dissolving into gentle tendrils of mist.
Calm the twist, calm the burn, calm the twist, calm the burn.
Let the ways to the heaven, the domain of the sky deities, be closed.
The ways be closed. Mighty waters, soothing balm of the world, fill the whirlpool and let the watery tunnel collapse. Calm the churn, calm the turn, calm the churn, calm the turn, calm the churn, calm the turn. Let the rushing walls of liquid collapse inward until there is naught but a steady flow. Calm the turn, calm the churn, calm the churn, calm the churn, calm the churn, calm the churn. Let the current slow and spread, dissolving into the gentle lap and suck of water against its boundaries. And calm the churn, calm the turn, calm the churn, calm the turn, calm the churn, calm the turn. Let the way to the netherworld, the domain of the earth deities, be closed.
Let the way be closed. Enchanted cloak, first veil of life. Restore the charm and let the pleats fall flat. Compress the stretch, tack the tear. Compress the stretch,
tack the tear.
Let
Compress
the
the stretch,
fabric be
tack the
sewn
tear.
until there is
Compress
not
the stretch,
but a seam
tack the
between.
tear.
Compress the stretch, tack the tear, and let
Compress
the
stretch,
severed threads
tack the
rejoin,
tear.
resolving
Compress
into a
stretch,
single
tack the
shimmering
tear.
blind. Compress the stretch, tack the tear. Let the
Compress
gate
the
to the
stretch,
ethereal world, the realm of the noble ones, be closed.
Let
The gate be closed.
Dark soil, last cover of the day. Release the abyss and let the shearing walls unite. Still the shift, mend the rend. Still the shift, mend the rend. Let the bedrock reform until there is naught but foundation below.
Still the
Shift.
Mend the rend. Still the shift, mend the rend. Let the
Still
loosened
the
loam
shift,
fall back,
mend the rend.
resolving
Still
into a
the
mounded
shift,
blanket of
mend the
memory.
rend.
Still the shift, mend the rend. Still the shift, let the rend. Let the
Still
gate
the
to the
shift,
underworld, the realm of the
mend the
dead,
rend.
be closed.
Let the
gate
gate
be
be closed. And so the fountain is returned. The well is returned. The fire pit is returned. The shrines are again but stone. And thus the ways are closed.
The ways
Ways
are
are
closed.
And so this rite comes to an end. The kindred have returned to their realms. The ways are closed. And yet the hallows remain. Well, pit, and shrines. Tangible symbols of the cosmos, as it was in the beginning, as it is now, as it shall ever remain. When we depart this sanctuary, may these hallows echo in our minds, in our hearts, in our spirits, that we may continue to connect to the realms beyond our own. Now, there are a few last thank yous to be given before we depart, beginning with Stanley at our patron shrine.
Clever Luckbringer, even as your shrine remains in our sanctuary, so it is too that ye stay or go, regardless of the ways between realms. Except though this final gift given today, given out of love and asking nothing in return. Hermes, we thank you.
Hermes, we thank you. Finally, we thank our host, the great-grandmother of many. Let us never forget that she will always care for us so long as we remember and care for her in return. So one last time I say, Earth Mother, we honor you.
Earth
Mother,
Mother, we honor you.
Have fun, lady.
Now let us go forth into the world as Kith, carrying with us the blessings of the kindreds and a spark of the energies of the realms. So be it, this rite is ended.
So be it, this rite is ended.
18.
The gift to be simple, 'tis a gift to be free, 'tis a gift to come down where we ought to be. And when we find ourselves in that place just right, 'twill be in the valley of love and delight. When true simplicity is gained, to bow and to bend, we will not be ashamed to turn will be our delight, till by turning, we come round right.
Huzzah!
Huzzah!
Huzzah.
I just want to say we made it
I
perfectly.
can't believe
Yes,
I remember. Hey!
You're here just in time to see that the
Yeah,
ritual
that
space
the
is lit
little
up
lights.
with the lights.
Yeah, that's so cool that they come on.
Well, they've
Solar.
actually been on the whole time.
Oh, they have.
Yeah.
Oh, they just don't.
We have a remote control for them, but unfortunately, to turn those on messes up the lights.
Oh, right, you were telling me. Yeah.
Because
yeah,
of
yeah.
course I couldn't get them all on the same.
On different frequencies.
different
Oh.
frequencies.
Yeah.
These frequencies are frequent.
We have personal omens.
We have personal. Oh, right. It's that time again.
What?
Personal omens. Okay. Call. Okay, I got one for Frankie apparently,
Oh,
Okay.
and
okay.
one for me.
Okay. I have the book to interpret them if you want to check later.
Okay.
These are actual pieces of horn.
Yeah, I can feel that.
It didn't cost me anything. It cost the Grove something. That's all about Grove donations. Well, Nancy was the one who paid for this. Because she was the one who was putting in all the donations during
Don't look. Pick one.
during She was the one who was making donations all during COVID.
Oh.
So
Are we supposed to give these back, Gavin, to keep
Nope,
the
they're
set?
yours to keep.
Oh, okay. That's yours, Frankie. Yeah,
So-
my two got stuck between my
So
fingernails.
these are Ogum.
Yep, so that one's Frankie's. Are you listening?
and they
Oh,
are
what one's
from
mine?
Real Antler.
Yeah.
That's I had this figured out.
We are still on the recording. We are still on recording.
Ugh. Okay.
Frankie's.
That one's mine. Okay, the sigil.
Yeah.
Or not sigil, rune. Sorry.
Yeah, it's a rune.
It's an oum.
It's
It's
an ohm.
Okay.
Not
Omen.
a rune, I guess.
I'm not used to
Omen.
Okay.
Need to still know the difference between
Gavin, if you go all the way to the
that.
back, there's a cheat in the back,
A cheat sheet.
close to the back page or something. Somewhere in the back. I swear there was. Maybe I haven't read in the book very long ago.
Well, let me see. How many lines are there? It's up on one side.
5 and a little.
Oh, that's a Q.
That's a Q.
That's a Q.
You got a Q.
Is it? Wait a minute.
Am I
the Q?
holding it the right way?
Yeah, I see it. I see it. You're fine.
Hang
Yes,
up,
it is Q.
not fold up. Hanger, not folder.
The vowel. Yeah, that's a vowel.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they were in order, but they're not.
See? Does it tell you in the back of the book?
That's
Like a glossary?
Gotcha.
Index? No?
it's right behind the.
I know where it should be, but no, I don't know where it is.
It's where it should be.
Are you about to
Let me-
trip on it?
The Q is associated with the apple tree.
Oh.
And apples are
What
associated
what letter did you get?
Q.
Q.
Quert. Apple. Apple is about magic.
Here you go, Francola.
Yay. Okay.
Versus-
Oh,
Thank you.
it's just one.
And it's coming off of that side. It needs to see what the thing at the bottom tells you which is the bottom.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it's one coming off to the right.
What is yours?
One coming off to the right.
To
It's
the
an
right.
H.
It's an H.
Are those backwards?
That's a
It should be
OI.
B. It should be
OI?
B.
Right.
One to the right should be B, not to the left.
So it's
B is,
oi?
B is to the left. H is to the right.
Apparently they climbed their tree ass backwards. There was a problem with that in the early books.
So OI? Like oi?
Yeah, his is oi.
His is oi.
Well,
His
if
is
it's
oi.
H,
Yours
That's
is oi.
H.
Mine is
it's
H. Okay.
Hua.
Well, what?
Hua.
Hua. Hua.
HDT,
Hua.
Birch Rowan, Elder Willow, Ash. Shit. Isn't that Hawthorne?
I lost the page.
HDTCQ? I'm pretty sure that's Hawthorne. I've never heard to the right was supposed to be A, but he's apparently got to the right. B.
I don't.
I think that's attempting to translate my belt. Here, go to the front page.
Here.
No, because as soon as you change books, you change all the different meanings. That's kind of the problem with all the books is once you change them, they change everything. It should be 109. It should be Hawthorne.
Hawthorne? Well, H, yeah. Hawthorne. But they don't all work that way. I think you just passed it.
See, and you're right.
That's showing
showing
it
it
to
coming
the
off.
left.
To the left, so maybe you're right with it. That's
I was going to say it's right, left, diagonal, through. When you climb a tree, you first reach up with your right hand and then to the left hand, and then you reach around the branches, and then you just climb right through the branches because they're too small. If that is to the right, like I thought, that
That's
should be birch, which is for beginnings, and the first tree that grows in a newly denuded area, like after a fire or
Right.
something, is the birch tree. It is also associated with paper and writing,
Called pioneer species.
and also it is the sound. Well, no, that's A. Sorry, that's Alim. It is, yeah. It's the beginnings. It's all about beginnings and new life. So yeah,
Huh.
it should be. See,
Guess I'm retiring
first to the Rhine
sooner.
on the right.
Okay, so it is birch.
I was like, wait, what? I was
Okay,
all
so it's
confused.
birch. And then Frankie's apple. Okay.
HDTCQ. That should be queer. Somebody else got queer? Did two people get the letter Q? Or was that one backwards also?
Frankie got.
Queert. Queert.
Do you want to?
Where?
Yeah, you were saying Frankie's was apple because it was.
Yeah, apple tree.
Queert, but I don't know if those are backwards also.
Oh, let me show it to you. Well, that would make sense for her.
Thank you.
2, 3, 4, 5.
Why? Because buy some apples.
Birch Row and Alder Willow Ash. So she's Ash, the
You're
ash
an
tree,
ash.
which is
Oh, me?
Ash. No, ash tree is the defense tree. It is
Right.
the wood that is used to make shields. The mighty ash. The only thing stronger than an ash for a shield is the oak that's used to make shields.
Okay. So ash, Frankie.
Oh, I'm Ash. Okay.
It's ash. Yeah, because there's a letter.
Does that mean I get to go on a Pokemon adventure?
Funny.
Yay! I'm gonna go on a quest with my Jigglypuff.
5
do
to the
that.
right is ash.
Okay, Ash. Okay.
Oh, hold on.
Kahulin, a flight of beauty, a weaver's beam. A check on peace is the ash tree, for it is made for spear shafts as well. So it's a straight tree. And your quert, which is apple, which is about magic.
Okay, there we go.
Oh, so you got queert.
It's either
No,
spelled
Jonathan did.
Q-U or C.
Oh, okay.
I got Hawthorne.
Okay.
because mine, or not Hawthorne, I'm
You're
sorry,
one
Birch.
of those new age ones.
Mine
Oy.
is New Beginnings.
Okay. Oh, it's like you said. Oh yeah, I guess you're returning sooner than expected.
Is the cover to this?
Yours is the weird one. I don't know where to put yours. No, not you, him, because his is not part of the original ones. He's one of the made-up ones that they added later. I don't even know where to find that in the book.
Okay.
I think
I'm
that's
starting to
gonna
get
be-
cold now.
Is that an 8? The hell number is that? 8 is gotta be 189.
Okay, how do I turn this off?
There's a sliding switch on the top of the
Okay.
receiver. You're gonna have to give me a second. That's not one that I usually do with, so I don't know what they made that one to be. Meetup is accurate till the end of the year. Yeah, to the end of the year. Then it's a mess again, but... Good night. Set it on the table, please.
All right. So would you like me to call you, Mama, and then we can FaceTime?
She can't hear you anymore.
Oh,
You're going
oh
to have to-
man.
Sorry, Stanley, you're going to have to look that up in a different book because it's not in this one because it's not part of the original 20. HDTC. Call, which is the holly tree. It's a tree of defense with its thorns. It's also a tree of... Colors don't change. What do you say? Perpetual... There, thank you. Evergreen. Perpetual color. It's always green. Except, I think I gave you the wrong one. Call is actually hazel, not... Shit. Is the hazel tree. Tree of knowledge. Wisdom. Hazelnuts are what the, fed the, fish of wisdom, thing like that. Clearly I need to get some more practice in our letters. Haven't done them in a while. Alright guys, believe it or not, we've still been, on the live feed, so we're going to end our live feed. For anybody who's on the YouTube, thank you so much for